All right, so in class we learned how to add and subtract mixed numbers, okay? Um, and we also talked about the importance of making an estimate before we do it so we know if our answer makes sense or not. So let's do this first example. Andrea had 1 1/5 liters of water. She drank 3/5 of a liter, and I want to know how much did she have left. So if I want to know how much she had left, I'm going to be subtracting. I'm going to find the difference between those numbers. So my number model for this would be 1 1/5 minus 3/5. So before we subtract, we learned about making an estimate. So 1 1/5 is about 1, and 3/5 is about a half. So my estimate could be 1 minus a half, which equals a half, okay? And let me set the problem up over here. That way I can write a little bigger. So when we're subtracting, set your problem up vertically, up and down. So 1 1/5 minus 3/5. So I'm going to subtract my fraction part first, and I'm noticing that I can't take 3/5 from 1/5. So I'm actually going to need to go over here to get more fifths to be able to subtract this. So I'm going to trade a whole. So if I trade a whole, I'll have 0 wholes over here, and for 5 more fifths. So if I had 1 more fifth, if I had 1/5 here, and I got 5 more fifths, 5/5 plus 1/5 would get me 6/5. Now I can subtract 6/5 minus 3/5 gets me 3/5. And check with my estimate. Oh, it makes sense because 3/5 is reasonably close to a half. Okay, let's do another example. Let's do number 2. In number 2, it says a table is 2 and 8/12 feet tall, and a lamp on it is 1 and 5/12 feet tall. I want to know their total height. So if I'm asking what is their total height, I'm adding here. So 2 and 8/12, I could say that's reasonably close to. I could say 2.5. I could probably even go up to 3. I'm gonna say 2.5 though. I think it's closer to 2.5. Plus 1 and 5/12. I'm gonna say 1 and 5/12 is close to 1.5. Okay, and that should get me about 4. 2.5 plus 1.5 is about 4. So let's add these now. So again, I'm going to go over here. So I'm going to do 2 and 8/12 plus 1 and 5/12. So 2 and 8/12 plus 1 and 5/12. Okay. So here I'm going to add my whole number, or I'm going to add my fractions first, since let's just keep things consistent. 8/12 plus 5/12. That would get me 13/12. And then let's add my whole numbers. 2 plus 1 is 3. So I get 3 and 13/12. But I'm noticing over here that I can make 13/12. I can get another whole there. So 13/12 is the same as 1. I can get another whole, 1 and 1/12. So now let's just add our 3 plus 1 and 1/12 here. And we get 4 and 1/12. Okay? So this lamp is 4 and 1/12 feet tall. All right. So that's just a quick review on how we could add or subtract mixed numbers.